Welcome to the webinar. I am Rick Thomas. This is Introduction to Biblical Counseling, lesson number 4. The mission for our ministry is to help people by providing practical tools and ongoing training for effective living. I prefer the word discipleship over counseling. If you want to use the word counseling, there is a slight context where you can use that word and it be true to the way that people understand it. You could say it this way: counseling is a form of discipleship. Our life as Christians, we move down the discipleship river. It is a 24/7 river that we flow down as we are moving closer and closer to Jesus. This is the way that every Christian lives. That's why I said earlier that discipleship is a lifestyle. We're all doing it. We're all moving in the same direction. We're all being transformed into Jesus Christ. Sometimes there are things that happen to us to where we need specialized discipleship care. When those moments happen, we find ourselves flowing out of the normal course of the discipleship river, and we move into a place to where we can receive what we understand as formalized biblical counseling for a season. This is a context, this is a situation where how counseling is normally understood, and it's okay to understand it this way, that this individual receives short-term formalized counseling from someone who has been equipped and they are competent to do high-end counseling. And then this individual goes back into the discipleship river where everyone else is, and they move on in the process. To use counseling in that sense is appropriate, but still yet, counseling is a synonym for discipleship. The overarching word is discipleship as I have described it here. A church that is not equipping, a church that is not mending, perfecting, and preparing the body is a local church that is not honoring the word as taught explicitly in the Great Commission. Let that quote soak in for a moment or two. If any local church is not mending, perfecting, preparing the body, is a local church that is not honoring the Word of God as taught explicitly in the Great Commission. Let's take a short coffee break. And I just want to make 2 appeals. One, would you help us to keep our resources free? If you're not supporting us and are able to, you can support us for as little as $5 a month, and that would really help us multiply. Thousands of people come to us every day, come to our website, come to our sanctification center, and only a small number of those are actually supporting us. We can reach more with more supporters. If you're able to support us, would you do that? And then the second appeal, if your church would be willing to have me come and do this Introduction to Biblical Counseling series to your entire church. I would love to talk about that. I would love to consider it. I would love to see how we can make that happen. If we can envision an entire church in this idea of discipleship, that would be so good. And if you want to talk about that, please shoot me an email, and I'll be glad to discuss.